Hello, my beautiful ducklings, it's your friendly Gruppeteer, and I'm back again with another Steven Universe vlog. And how good is it to be back in my evil lair room, to be making vlogs, again, it's good. So today's episode is Joking Hurts. I think that was it. I think it's called Joking Hurts. I'll check later. Anyway, this is... In this episode, Lars fakes a back injury because Steven, he spills soda all over the floor. Lars trips on it. Three Stooges come in or something. And, so he has to, he can't, he pretends that he can't work. So he leaves it to Sadie, remembered her name this time, and Steven to run the shack, the big donut. And so, Sadie takes Steven through this pretty funny training course, rap thing. Why do I keep pausing? I have a little bit of a sore throat, I just keep pausing. Takes him through this kind of rap video that explains what to do, which gets, it's pretty funny, gets a few laughs. It reminds me of the video, It's the World Wide Web by Neil Cicerega, if you've ever seen that. If you haven't, go see it, it's funny. And then, Steven questions, why, if we work so good together, Sadie, why don't we fire Lars? And, Sadie tells Steven a pretty nice story about how, her relationship with Lars, and, how they work together in and out of, work and all that. And about one night when they went over to each other's house, they played video games, and it's kind of intended they did something else by the way that Sadie pauses when she's telling the story, which was pretty weird, but I'll get to that later. And so then they want to go say hi to Lars, make sure he's doing okay, and they go over to his house, and as a little throwback to the Lars and the Cool Kids episode, Lars is on the back, screaming expositions about how he didn't break his back actually, and then he's jumping on his trampoline with all the cool kids. And when Sadie sees this, she's so hurt because she thinks Lars doesn't want to hang out with Sadie at the shack. So Steven has the idea to get some fire salt that Amethyst gave him earlier in the episode, and prank Lars by heating his mouth up. And so they do that, and Lars eats so much that his mouth starts breathing fire, turns into a Charizard, and he's going around, he's burning everything down. So they have to stop him with a fire extinguisher. Steven does the Heimlich maneuver on him and gets him, gets him out of gets the donut out of his mouth. And Steven and Sadie apologize, and everything ends well in the end. So, what do I think about this episode? It was really good. The first half, up until the part where Steven puts the fire salt on the donut, it's the best episode all the way through. The best episode, I still think, is Too Many Birthdays, unless there's another one that I forgot what it was. But so far, it's Too Many Birthdays, but this one is definitely a close second. Because you see Sadie and Lars at work, and they don't interact with each other meanly, but you don't see them interact with each other kindly. Sadie's kind of nice to Steven, and Lars kind of is the jerk to Steven. And so, the way they kind of, work off each other to try to be nice to Steven is usually pretty interesting. And then hearing how, actually, in real life, how similar they are to each other, and, how much, they try to help and support each other, is a great way of, describing their characters and trying to build them, trying to build better characters. Because you have Sadie and Lars. Sadie's nice. Lars is kind of a jerk. They kind of expanded upon Lars in the Lars and the Cool Kids episode, as a guy, and he's he's a jerk to other people, but when he's around actual, like, cool people, he's kind of like, eh, which I know those kind of people. Everybody knows those kind of people. But not only does this expand upon Lars's character and Sadie's character, it expands upon it by the points of view of the different opposite characters, which is a really good, in my opinion, a really good way of building character. For those that really don't have any too far. There's also a pretty dark scene, like graphic scene. There's a scene. It's hilarious, but it's still pretty dark, especially for the Steven universe. I'd expect to see it on like Invader Zim or something, one of the darker shows. But Steven asks Sadie why they don't make the donuts at the donut shack. And Sadie's like, oh no, we don't do that ever since the accident. She points to this wall, and it plays like the music from Psycho. It's like, doot, doot, doot. And it's just like a burnt mark on the wall where this guy's body is just like the outline of someone's body just like this. It's so disturbing, but it's so funny at the same time that I had to laugh. But what the heck? So that was weird. But besides that, seeing, I just wanted to cut to that. It was a funny joke. But seeing back to the Sadie and Lars character thing, when Sadie, like, when you see the hurt on Sadie's face when she finds out that Lars ditched work, it's hinted that they might like each other, especially at this scene that I'm still yet to explain. I'll explain in a minute. That might be, a clue to it. I really don't care much for, like, romantic subplots. Adventure Time Flame Princess. Sorry, I have a little cough because, sore throat. And, so if they did that, if they did it good, it could be good. If they didn't do it good, without saying it wouldn't be good. So, I'll see how you handle that. And last thing, to wrap it up, is there's the scene where Sadie's explaining the story about how she got the video game for Lars, and she apparently went over to his house, and he cleaned up his room, and they were in there all night playing video games. And when Steven says, oh, you must have had fun playing the video games. So Sadie's like, what? Oh yeah, the video games. Ooh, yeah, okay. That kind of flew over the censor's head. And if they didn't mean what we all think they mean, then please tell me in the comments. But as of right now, that's all I can think of. That sounds kind of creepy. Whatever. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and tickle that subscribe button with your face or whatever. I want it to end.